Hey everybody, what is going on? Serial Overdrive here, and today I'm doing Serial Overdrive's Entropia Universe Guide to Mining in 2020 and Beyond, which is sponsored by Mindark. So let's get into it. Mining, that's when you go out, you find ores, end matter, and in some cases, treasure. Mining is a pretty easy one to cover, so we're just going to do this real quick here, hopefully. So basically, when you're mining, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to a trade terminal. You're going to want to buy an excavator. You always need an excavator and a Omegatron detectinator. The detectinator, this is what you're going to use when you're a new player. As you get more and more advanced, what you're going to want to do, I'd recommend upgrading from the 101 all the way through to the 105. Once you get to the Finder 105, you're going to notice that this thing gets maxed out pretty fast. But the one thing that's nice about the F105, the 101, 102, 103, and 104 is that these are unlimited finders. That means that you can just repair them. There's no cost to acquire them. There's no markup that you're paying every time. They're not limited. If you get to the 105 and you're looking to just go to something a little bit better, I'd recommend the TerraMaster series. I'm using a TerraMaster 4, but you guys can sort of do what you want and, upgrade as you need. One thing is with mining, there's a treasure hunter skill. The treasure hunter skill is something that can only be used on Arcadia. I would not recommend using treasure hunting because everywhere else you're going to be using surveying, which is to find end matter, and prospecting to find ores. And those are going to be used on every planet in Entropia Universe. Treasure hunting is only limited to Arcadia, and because of that, your gear is going to be wildly mismatched unless you're only mining on Arcadia. Also, what you're going to find is per drop, the cost is going to go up by double. So when you're mining for ores, it costs 1 PED worth of probes. That's what you use to mine. When you're mining for end matter, it costs 50 PECs. For probes. That's $1.50 that you're using. When you mine for treasure, it costs a lot more, and now I think you're spending about 3 PEDs per drop. Whereas if you're just mining for ores and end matter, it costs 1.5 PEDs. Also, that stuff tends to have a little bit better markup to it. So the name of the game with mining isn't necessarily efficiency. It's all about markup. So what you're going to be finding when you go mining, you're going to find ores and end matter. The ores and end matter all look like these. I basically store all my ores and end matter up. Once I get a stack of 50 PEDs or more, I put it up for sale. So here you can see I've got Garcian lubricant. That sells for 110%. Ores and end matter tend to have a higher percent markup than anything that you're going to find when you're hunting. This is why a lot of the time people have historically referred to mining as a more profitable profession to go into than hunting. Unlike hunting, you can't mine as a team. A lot of people think once you find a claim, that area does not have any more claims in it, so it can sort of suck, right? Like, you're not going to be mining as a team. You're going to be on Society Chat, hanging out, doing everything like that, but you can't do it as a team. So you just go out individually, you do your runs, you drop your probes, and you see what you get. Personally, I stack everything like I just said, and that's because, again, the markup on this stuff is a lot higher than you're going to find with other things, like what you're going to find when you're hunting. Some stuff doesn't have that great of a markup, but in general, with mining, it is always good. You always want to sell to an ore and end matter buyer. You can find these buyers by going to the chat. I just realized that my chat is not up, so let me go to interfaces and show that. I was taking some pictures and didn't have that up, so now my interface is visible. So yeah, basically the way it works is you can go to a trade chat. I think it's Cali Trade for Calypso, but if you go to Rookie and you just ask, people will be more than happy to give you the trade chat. You say, hey, anyone buying ores and end matter, you can find someone, and then you check and see if what percentages they'll give you. Usually if it's me, something that I have that has a high markup is what I'm going to ask about. Like, I'll say, hey, what are you buying, I don't know, this for? Because I know the markup should be like 110% or something like that, right? Or maybe it's like 200% or 300%. There's ores and end matter that have huge markups, right? You want to make sure that markup's the highest, whereas something like list, even if they knock you down to 102%, they're only making 1.6% on it, and even if they knock you down to 0, they're only making 3.64% on it. So you always want to keep that in mind, okay? The higher the markup, the more you want to be careful with the trader. The lower the markup, the less it really matters, in my opinion. But you still want to, always double check, make sure whoever you're working with is reputable and all that. And the only way you can do that is by seeing if their total matches yours. I don't always do it, but you know, it's good to add it up and sort of keep on your toes. One thing you can see is anytime you mine something that has a high markup, you probably want to get rid of that ASAP. So if the markup seems pretty steady, you're fine, but every now and then something will jump up. So if you look at this decade chart, you can see for even for Alliance's gel, the markup has jumped up at times, and that would be when you want to sell. So usually if I have a stack like this and I'm sitting on it, I'll keep an eye on prices, and if something goes up through the roof, even if I only have 20-30% of it, 30 PEDs of it, I still might just try and get rid of it so I can get that high percent markup. The way to get rid of things, you can either go out and try and buy a full stack's worth. So let's say I've got 30 PEDs of list. I might try and trade for 20 PEDs of list. I might be able to get at, let's say, 103%, and then I can sell the whole lot for 103.25%. I make a little bit on that bit that I bought, but then I make full markup on what I've got. So that works out perfect for me. And the guy that I'm buying it from, he just got rid of 20 PEDs worth for only 0.25% of the cost, and that would be a lot less. He'd lose a lot less than if he actually tried to auction it with the auction fees. With mining, you really don't need to worry about eco or efficiency as much as you do with hunting, because all you're doing is dropping probes. One thing you do want to worry about, you want to note areas. So there's something called Big Little Mining Log, a third-party program that is basically an Entropia mining program, and that'll tell you where all your drops are, and you can see sort of where other people found stuff if they're sharing their findings. You can use that to find which ores and antimatter drop in which areas. If you find an area that has something that's high markup, that's where you want to go. That's where you want to mine. So basically, keep an eye on where things are dropping and go to the areas that have high markup to them. That is the key to mining. That's like the golden rule. That's what everybody needs to do, right? You chase the markup. That was scary. Something just hit my window. Freaked me out a little bit. Sorry about that. So you chase the markup with mining. If you find something that's a high enough markup, one option you do have is you can go down here to, where is it, tools. You go to mining, so we're at the auction, and you can buy an amplifier. What an amplifier does is it means you're spending more and you're going to get higher level claims. Or not higher amount claims. So if you've ever seen my amplified mining runs, basically if I'm buying an amplifier that has a huge markup, let's say I'm buying, this is way too big, like a level 7 or whatever. I'm buying a huge amplifier. We'll do this by value because the higher value ones are usually higher level. Yeah. Let's say I'm buying a, what do we have? Level 4 amplifier, I guess, or whatever it is, right? Whatever amplifier I'm buying, if it's a high level amplifier, oh, I'm on basic. That's why I was wondering why I didn't see it. A level 10 amplifier. This means that I'm probably going to be spending, this amplifier is going to be decaying by 10 or 15 PEDs a drop or something crazy, but it's going to be amplifying the claim. So if I find a claim now, all of a sudden that claim is way more likely to be a HOF or a global. And if that claim has a high markup, if the markup's over 35%, then I'm making money. Generally with amplifiers, the goal is to only find ores and antimatter that have a higher markup percent than that amplifier's markup percent. So these high level stuff, that's it's very risky, right? But then if you get a low level amplifier, like a level 5, it's 103.5% markup. So as long as your hunting run's somewhat profitable, you're probably going to find a lot of things that are above 103.5%. So that might be something that's even worth using. Again, though, you're going to be spending more money, so you need a higher PED stack to do it. And you've always got to consider that there is that risk of a mining run where you find absolutely nothing. The way mining works, too, is most areas you have the same chance of finding things as you would anywhere else. But on Club Never Died, now known as FOMA, Monria, Arcadia Underground, Hell on Rocktropia, and I believe Arcadia Moon, you are less likely to find a claim, but when you do find a claim, the claim is going to be bigger. So what you want to keep in mind there is if you're going up there and you're going to spend 100 PEDs, there's a chance you walk away with nothing. There's a chance you literally find nothing. But there is also a higher chance that you get a global or a HOF. So it's up to you if you want to take the risk or not. I'll leave that 100% up to you, but it's worth covering just because it is a thing. Also, what you will find is that somewhere in here, there is going to be a mining guild representative. If you talk to the mining guild representative, you can get challenges. You can only take on a certain level of challenges. So you see I've got these challenges, so I can't take on others. But you can only take on a certain number of end matter and a certain number of ore challenges. These challenges basically give you extra skills. There is no downside to taking on these challenges. The only thing to remember is it's going to take a while because it's really hard to target finding a specific ore or end matter, but there's no reason not to do it. As far as skills go, I'd always increase your prospecting and surveying. Your extraction skills don't matter that much. When it comes to extractors, which are what you use to pull up ores and end matter, basically whatever is a higher efficiency is what you want to use, but even then it's not too big of a deal. Honestly, this is one of those things no one really worries about the extractor. Even with the finders, people aren't 100% worried with their decay or anything like that. The big thing people look at is the average search depth. The range should always be the same, and the probes used. Probes used average search, but I guess probes used is only going to vary in the TT finder to the normal finder. There are also some higher level finders that use more probes, but the average search depth, that is the big thing. The deeper you can search, the more... So the theory goes, the deeper you search, the more likely you are to find high markup ores and end matter. So a finder like this that can search 522 for the average depth is pretty good. But a finder like this that now is searching 680, and if I was maxed out 741, is even better. So just keep that in mind, right? The deeper you go, the better it is. You always want to try and go as deep as possible because you're more likely to find cool stuff. Yeah, as far as mining goes, I think that about covers it. Obviously, there's enhancers and stuff like that you can do. The same thing that applies to everything applies to this. Oh, I've still got this amplifier on here. Let me detach that. The L amplifiers will automatically scale up, so you can put enhancers on them. The un-L, you need to actually do some work. You need to tier upgrade to get that to happen. I'm not a fan of it, so I never tier upgrade any of my stuff, but if you do like enhancers, go for it. Enhancers can randomly break, so I don't like what that does to my efficiency because it makes it very hard to calculate. Anyways, wow. I think I dumped a lot of information on you guys, but I think I got everything there. I think that's just the basic mining guide. That's the upgrade guide. That's how you want to do things. That's how I'd recommend doing things, and I think I sort of covered everything, right? If you don't have a big PED stack, always sell your mining claims or your mining finds to other players for a higher markup because you're not going to... TT is very low, or not low, but TT is not the highest you can get, so you can get more PEDs selling to other players. When you're mining, if you find a good claim or you find something that has a high markup, note that area down and try to go back there. As you're mining, try to make sure that the finder you're using has the highest depth possible. The deeper you can go, usually the better and the rarer the loot that you get is. And the big thing with mining is just always chase that markup. So that's it. That is Serial's Overdrive's Guide to Mining in 2020. And I know for those of you guys watching, the graphics still have not changed because I'm filming this early, but you're going to be seeing a graphical change soon in my videos. I think this might be one of the last ones that's going to be with the old graphics, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, thank you for watching. I do a ton of guides. If you are interested in seeing more guides, check out my Entropia Universe. I think I've got a playlist for 2020 guides, but if not, check out my channel. Ton of Entropia Universe videos there, from Let's Plays to guides to discussions on how to make money in Entropia Universe. Also, I do have a Twitch, which I stream on occasionally. It's always Entropia Universe when I stream, pretty much. I have a Twitter, which again use occasionally. There's a Discord server. It's mainly Entropia Universe players. It's pretty active. I'd recommend going there. And that's about it. I've got Patreon too, but whatever. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate the views. I appreciate the support you guys have given me over the past year and more. And yeah, if you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time. Peace.